This section heading is called Enabling IPS. So I'm going to break this section up into two videos. The first one's going to be about packet normalization. So packet normalization comes by default with the Snort installation. However, it's not applied unless you're running in IPS mode. So if we want to see how it's being applied, we're going to take a look at Snort's configuration file. So we're going to type sudo sed. We're going to take a look at lines 228 up to 241. And then we can see that it's being included within step 5 of Snort's configuration file. We use a preprocessor keyword, and then over here we've got something that we're normalizing. So these are essentially chunks of code. Now, what its purpose is to kind of make up for regular signature detection not detecting malicious threats. So for example, I'm going to come over to the topology. So over here, what I'd like you to imagine is with regular signature detection on an IPS or IDS device, an attacker could actually bypass this kind of signature detection using different methods. So one method being fragmentation. So an attacker would essentially craft a malicious packet and then chop it up into 50 million bits. He or she would then send those bits, and it would be allowed to pass right through the IDS or IPS device because, it's only got a piece of the puzzle at a time. When it reaches the destination, the packet would be reassembled and essentially, have its malicious content intact, right? So then, doing whatever it was designed to do. So packet normalization will actually provide the ability to reassemble the packet, inspect it, and then, deem whether or not it's valid or malicious or not, and kill it or send it. So that's one kind of feature of packet normalization, is the ability to kind of inspect. The other feature that's in there is the ability to actually modify. So for example, another method that an attacker might do would be to encode something, again, to bypass regular signature detection. So it would encode some sort of communication, and then the IPS or IDS device, the signature or the rules within it, wouldn't have a rule to match it, and it would essentially just allow it to go right through. So then on the destination, it would, essentially decode what was there. So it would know what that encoded data meant. And when decoding it, it's something malicious. And then again, exploiting or possibly exploiting the system. So now the next step that I'm having you do in here is actually to disable this feature. So once again, we're going to be creating our own rules, and we don't want any interference from any of the defaults with our Snort installation. So this is basically the same reason that we disabled the default rule sets. So now to disable this, we're going to just throw a comment character in front of these lines down here, which is lines 236 to 240. So we're going to type sudo sed. We're going to edit the in-place file. We're going to be editing lines 236 up to 240. We're going to substitute at the beginning of the line with a comment character. Etsy snort conf. We want to verify, and we can see that this feature is no longer being included.